All right, after today's wicked sell-off, I thought it would be a good idea to look at the stock market again. As you remember, I said that there were going to be, as we progress through this, what I think is the second half of a bubble, where it's going to get volatile. It's going to get a lot more volatile than what happened today. Um, as of right now, this looks to me like we're finally getting something that's recognizable as a daily cycle low. None of these little corrective moves qualified, in my opinion. Not only did the McClellan oscillator not get very oversold, but none of them really turned the 10-day moving average back down, and most of them only lasted like one day. Didn't really push the 5-day RSI to oversold. So none of these really look like or qualify, in my opinion, as a daily cycle low. Now we're starting to get something that I can say with some confidence does look like it's going to be a daily cycle low. I don't know no idea whether or not it's going to bottom in one day or whether it takes two or three. I can tell you that the McClellan oscillator is also already severely oversold after today. And considering that we're about, I think this is almost 60 days into this daily cycle, which is obscenely stretched, it shouldn't last too long. I doubt that it would last more than 3 to 5 days. So, I mean, there's even a chance that it just bottoms here, and we return and we start going back up tomorrow. Maybe we gap down in the morning, and that ends up being our bottom, and then the third daily cycle begins. But I don't think this is the top of the bubble. This just doesn't look like the kind of this doesn't look like a blow off top that I would expect at the end of a bubble. This looks like the volatility that I warned was going to happen as we progress through, again, what I think is the second stage of a bubble. This would be the beginning. And as I noted in my previous video, these bubbles usually take at least a year to top, sometimes a year and a half. We're not even a year yet, so just seems a bit premature to me that this would be a bubble top. And this just doesn't look like a bubble top at this point. This looks like one of those volatile corrections that I warned was going to happen, and I think they're going to get more volatile. So at some point here within, maybe tomorrow, maybe it takes a few more days. Either way, we should get our daily cycle low and then start the third daily cycle. This was our first daily cycle. This would be our second daily cycle. We should start a third daily cycle, and that daily cycle may left translate, but I think we're going to make higher highs before it does. So moving on to the NASDAQ, again, I don't know exactly, can't tell you exactly where this is going to bottom at, but I do think it's not got much more to go. As I said, the McClellan oscillator is already extremely oversold, so we should get a bottom pretty quickly, and then the rally should resume. I do think the NASDAQ is going to go above 14,000 during this intermediate cycle. Maybe it can even reach 15,000, and then we might get maybe some kind of a intermediate correction or a sideways consolidation. I went over that scenario in last night's report for premium subscribers. If you want to subscribe to the SMT nightly newsletter, I'll put the link in the description below. But either way, I think we're finally getting a much needed and long overdue daily cycle low. Should bottom here pretty soon, within several, 2 or 3 days max, and then I think we start moving up again. And if this does, not only if it bottoms pretty quickly, but if it recovers the all-time highs pretty quickly, that should really embolden the retail type traders, and that's what we need to push the final phase of a bubble is you need the retail crowd to come in, the traders that are willing to just bid, hit any kind of price because they're afraid of missing the move. So I'm kind of expecting once this is done, I'm kind of expecting a very quick recovery, and that triggers a real um, inflow of retail traders into the market, and that's what will drive the final phase of the bubble.